Well, welcome to Noel's World of Whiskey. And of course, in our last review, we'd left Ireland and we were spending a little bit of time in Japan. So we're going to continue with another old favorite. Probably the first one that I got introduced to in Japanese whiskey, Nikka. So I've done a presentation in the past on Masa Taketsuru and his love of his life, his two loves of his life, whiskey, and of course his first love was Rita, whom he met in Scotland. In his trip to Scotland in 1918 to study the making of whiskey. He was actually sent over there by a Japanese beverage company. He was from the family of sake brewers and was not really interested so much in the making of sake. He was supposed to take over the business because his two brothers had no interest in it. And he suddenly found more interest in whiskey. So this company sent him off to study whiskey, and he went to the University of Glasgow and he studied organic chemistry there. And I think that was, if I remember right, at the where he stayed, the place he stayed, he met actually the sister of a fellow student, his future wife Rita. And in his apprenticeship, he spent time at Hazelburn in Campbelltown, which is no longer, but it is the name of one of the Springbank whiskies. They used the old Hazelburn distillery where Taketsuru got his apprenticeship. He also worked at Boness Distillery that is long gone, and he worked at still the Longmorn Distillery, which is still producing whiskey today. Anyways, he went back to after 1920, he secretly married Rita in Scotland against Rita's parents, and her father was a doctor, who were against that marriage, so they did it secretly. And he actually worked for Shinjiro Tori, the founder of Suntory, for 10 years, because the company that sent him over there no longer, they abandoned that the whiskey making. So things didn't work as well with Shinjiro Tori's company, because the whiskey Taketsuru was trying to produce didn't fit the Japanese palate. So he stuck with his the honor of the Japanese, stuck with his 10-year contract, and eventually he resigned after his contract was over, and he, with the encouragement of his wife Rita, went up to Hokkaido, and he convinced the company, and it would be I believe it was the old Asai company, that he was going to start a business making apple juice. But this was just a front, because really what his love was whiskey. And in 1934, he started Yoichi Distillery. And It was coal-fired. The stills were based on the Longmorn stills that he had drawn technical pictures of. So it was followed many years later in 1969 by Miyagikyo. And from the Miyagi area in behind Sendai. It was originally called Sendai Distillery. And it was close to the coast, of course. And it had pure water, close to the mountains. And of course, like Yoichi, they have a very small angel share, around 2%, almost the same in Scotland. But the idea behind it was to get some contrast from what he had in Yoichi. He wanted a second distillery that would give a different presentation. Here we are, the Miyagikyo distillery and their presentation. Now, the interesting thing about this was it was a 10, I believe a 12 and a 15-year-old statement. And I think 2015, they basically have run out of whiskey is what's happened. Production is about less than a third of what the market is. So it's basically skyrocketed the price of Japanese whiskey. It's made it very difficult to have an age statement. It's also created a lot of fake Japanese, the fake Japanese whiskey market. The laws have always been kind of sketchy in Japan. The problem is that the Japanese laws are not the same as in Scotland. So until they change them, and until they catch up in their production, I won't be buying a lot of Japanese whiskey because it's just too bloody expensive. Having said that, this still is within reason. I think this is in the $90, $95 range, depending on where you get it. And let's get into it. Let's open that bottle. So, let's give this a pour. Now, looking at what I just poured out, I'm going to say there's very little coloring in that. Now, what bothers me about, the Nikka brand is that this is a 45 ABV, 45% ABV. It does not have to be chill filtered, but my understanding is they do chill filter it, which doesn't make a lot of sense because when whiskey is at the 45, 46%, even 43, they do not have to chill filter it. We know chill filtering does remove some of the flavor of the whiskey. And I just do not understand the logic and why they would chill filter something like this. But I'm hearing that there will be a duty-free presentation that will be non-chill filtered. And I think it's not just Miyagikyo, but I think in Yoichi as well. So looking forward to that. Anyways, looking at the whiskey, I'm going to show you it up close, if we're getting any legs. Now you can see the color. It's a medium tea color. Let's get into the nose. We have some pears mixed with vanilla, a little bit of citrus, and some very light leather notes. We're getting some kind of custard here. I'm getting a little bit of dark stuff too, raisins. Oh boy, maybe even a little bit of date square. Now, my understanding is that they do finish this in sherry cask. I do not have an age statement on what the finishing is, but that is part of what Miyagikyo is about. My understanding is I don't think there's any peat. So we're getting our typical apricots, honey,
And that's a bit of a spicy honey, maybe a manuka, and cinnamon, bit of ginger, some orange is coming up now. Boy, I'm getting a little bit of getting some tobacco, and of course the flower garden. Okay, Solange.
Right off the bat, I can almost tell this is going to be balanced. Spice balancing perfectly with our sweet and our sour right off the bat. I don't normally get it that fast, but this one here kind of, if you're going to win over the reviewer, that's a good way to start. I am not getting a lot of the oak, but I am getting some of that dark fruit. And if I'm getting any wood at all, it's sandalwood. I would say the honey, I think I nailed it there, the manuka honey notes, and a little bit of the vanilla coming through. But again, I am getting some dark fruits. So right off the bat, I had the lighter fruits. Now I'm getting a few dark fruits. Plums. And yeah, maybe some apricots and plums, something in between an apricot and a plum. A bit of nectarine. And it's faded away. So it might tell us a little bit about the development and the finish as I start it right now. So, development and finish. Solange. Bit of licorice now. And I left off with nectarines, but I'm back now to licorice and I'm going to say figs. Maybe mixed in with a little bit of apricot. And spice, I would say definitely got some ginger going on. A little bit of hot ginger. Nice though. And by golly, there's a little bit of orange going on. I'm going to say, yeah, the darker milk chocolate to maybe even mocha. Maybe some mocha going on here. Still in the distance there, maybe some coffee notes. And now a bit of the oak. Just a bit of the oak coming up now. A little bit of the astringency, but anyways, let's put a little bit of water in this. I'm actually quite surprised with my comments on the chill filtering and that, because there is a lot to that, a lot more than what I was expecting. Oh, right off the bat, I'm getting toffee. Macintosh's toffee. Very rich. Those Sultana, kind of like the cookies. They're kind of like a wafer cookie, full of raisins. I love those things. Hard to find. And we've got some more sweet honey going on here, but the manuka is more of a rich alfalfa now. The water is sending me a lot of fudgy chocolate, like fudgy milk chocolate. And now we're getting the orange chocolate. Oh, that's rich, you know. Okay, the palate with water. Just the spices of just just toned down a bit that ginger and the wee bit of the cinnamon, and now I'm getting it on a, I would say, Demerara sugar on a bit of toast with cinnamon and maybe a slight bit of ginger sprinkled on it. When we were kids, we'd do that with butter. So throw the butter in too. So buttered Demerara sugar on top of toast with cinnamon and ginger sprinkled on top. How do you like that? It's just wonderful what you can do with your imagination. And of course, adding water, it really changes, it brings things out of the drink. And I'm really happy to say, with the chill filtration, they haven't killed this whiskey, but man, what would it be without chill filtration? Wow. Okay, let's do that again. So I got the Sultana cookies happening again. I started off with date squares, and the date squares are just full of sugar right now. But there is the dates. I can taste them. I'm going to say orange, those orange chocolates that you bust open. I forget what they're called, but you can break them open. I've got a little bit of that going on. I'm liking this so much, I kind of want to get into it again, but I should end the review and then I can enjoy a bit more of it. This was enjoyable. I wasn't expecting this, and this here, I've had the Yoichi, and the Yoichi, I don't know if I've done a review on it, but I don't remember doing one, so I'll have to do that one next. But it's got a lot to rate. I'm kind of raising the bar here, you know, between the Taketsuru and Nikka, you know, from the barrel, and this guy here. I think it's the price. Where can you get a Japanese whiskey in the $90 range that can deliver what that does? You know, we don't have an age statement. Is it 8? Is it 9 years? I don't know. They discontinued the 10, the 12, and the 15, so you can guess. But it doesn't taste that young, and it is rich. It's got some complexity. Right off the bat, I told you it was balanced. I'm impressed. Why have I not drank this before? This might be the end of picking up something that is decent at that price. And is distilled in Japan. It's not one of the, you know, from one of the phantom or fake distilleries, or we'll call it a fake Japanese whiskey. I shouldn't really say that, because a lot of these distilleries are trying to make a buck, and if that's the way the laws are, well, let's criticize the regulations and let's not criticize the distillery. But anyways, having said that, I am going to ask you to drink wisely. Drink intelligently, and do not drink and drive. Until the next time, Slàinte.